Good morning, business builders. I want to share with you today a new game that I got and also talk about money. So many of us have issues around money, and there's audio programs of change patterns I've shared with some of you. Money Magic is something that I've listened to and worked on and gone through the visualizations that are in there, and it can be helpful. Many of us have these records of it's impolite to talk about money. You shouldn't talk about money. It's like dirty. Money is the root of all evil, which is not what the Bible says. It says for the love of money is the root of all evil. But we know in business, we got to get comfortable with it. We got to get comfortable with looking at profit and loss sheet. We have to get comfortable with asking for money. And then you're going to hire people and they have to get comfortable asking for money. Last week I was with Tersh Blissett, who some of you know is a podcaster in the service industry. He owns an HVAC business. And we were talking about his salespeople who are out in the field and how it's easier for them to go on a call and fix just whatever exactly the customer asked for, $300, $500, and then leave. But he had been on a call with somebody and it turned out that there was really $2,500 worth of work that needed to be done. But the salesperson slash technician had to ask the owner for that money, right? So to go from $500 and the minimal thing that they need to $2,500 could be a pretty big jump. Now, it's actually in service to that client to get the work done because it was maintenance type work that was going to need to be done anyway, sometime within the next, 12 months. And it's the kind of work that if it's not done could lead to cascading events that causes more damage. And when there's something that goes out like that for a business, which is what was a business client, causes outages. It's in Savannah, Georgia. So if there's no air conditioning in Savannah, Georgia, like people are not happy in the summertime. And so we were talking about how the technician has to ask for that money, but it's a big deal. And you have to remember as a business owner, when you have salespeople are like that, technicians who are not salesperson first, but are doing sales as part of their job, it's hard to talk about money. It's hard to ask for money when it's been kind of beaten into you by some parents that it's rude to talk about it. And we don't think about money. We don't talk about money. Sometimes parents fight about money and then their kids have a hard time talking about it. Maybe you have some of that. So anyway, you got to talk about money with your people. You got to work on money. It's important. You got to write money on the back of the napkin, get comfortable when you don't have it, right? And be open about that. So here's what I want to share with you. It can be really helpful for people on your team to handle real money and see that it's not very powerful. You need to recognize they all think you're the business owner and that you have lots of money. And so it's easy for you to talk about it, which isn't true either. So you can tell some of your own stories and let them know that you haven't always had it. If you do have it now, let them know you haven't always had it, or you're helping them understand how the business just has cash flowing through it. You don't get to keep it all, right? Talking openly and often about money is important. And I got a new game for Thomas and I to play, which I was holding up in the beginning. Thomas and I, Molly, the two older girls, I don't know. They may not be that interested. I've said, hey, we're all going to sit and play this, and we'll see. I might get my oldest daughter and her boyfriend to play it. But it's by Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki. I read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or I listened to it rather. Really good, just way of thinking about entrepreneurship and businesses and real estate. And we can talk more about that later. But he said he had this game, and I was like, man, that sounds awesome. $80 for this game. So talk about money issues. Kathy called me and was like, you paid $80 for a game. Like, yeah, because it is only the board and the tokens, right? But what's the value of this? So Thomas and I played it not well. We played it for the first time on Saturday. And, just handling that money, even though it's play money, can be helpful. So you can play Monopoly with salespeople. Like, that is a legit thing to do for an hour. It's a good training activity, handling the money, talking about the money. There's a reason for that. They might not like it, and the reason they might not like it is because they're hesitant to talk about money, right? So you play it with them. But this game in particular, for you and your kids, I don't know about people on your team, maybe, but it gets you comfortable, like doing deals, transactions. Even though it's fake, it changes somewhere in our brain, in our being, in our everything, our spirit. and you get these cards. There's small deals and big deals. Small deals tend to be less than $6,000 investment in the game, and then there's big deals like here. 8plex for sale. Owner offers 8plex for sale at a reasonable price. Financing is already in place. All it needs is your down payment. Use this yourself or sell it to another player. Cost of this 8plex, $220,000. Down payment, $40,000. Mortgage, $180,000. Positive cash flow each month, $1,700. So $1,700 positive cash flow a month. And so you play the game, and it helps you start seeing how you can play with other people's money, the bank's money, sometimes in a real estate transaction. And you have a sheet. I'm not going to dig it out, but you have a balance sheet, right? So you're working on your assets, you're working on your liabilities, you're working on your cash flow statement. You're writing this down. It's a really great game to play. Then you get these, you land on, there's these market cards. So there's the deals, you buy them, and then you get into some of these. I'm just going to take a look. Apartment house buyer. Buyer offers $40,000 per unit for all units in apartment houses of any size. Buyer has financing in place. So on 8plex, right, that we talked about earlier, $40,000 a unit, $320,000, right? And you paid far less than that. So and then there's stocks in here. You buy a stock on one card, and then later on you sell it, and the price may have gone up or the price may have gone down. The price may have split. It may be that the company liquidated, and you just, boom, you bust and lose everything. Great way to learn about money, play with your kids, and for yourself to grow that mental muscle around business and deals and balance sheet, profit and loss, cash flow, so on and so forth. So I really wanted to share this. Monopoly is good. This is better. It is worth $80. I'm sure of it. Take care. Keep going, or go get them. See ya.